Managing Your Money by Cliff Notes, Chapter 2, Distinguishing Needs and Wants. In this chapter, distinguishing financial needs from economic wants, recognizing the range of choices within the categories of needs and wants, making choices that move you toward your financial goals. One of your responsibilities as a money manager is to look at your financial situation objectively. Your objective eye lets you step back from the transactions you conducted in the past and encourages you to look at the bigger picture of your financial situation. Look at the habits and attitudes that you developed up to now toward managing, spending and saving your money. Have you made good choices thus far? As your own money manager, you want to make good choices for your hard earned money. Making good choices involves distinguishing what you need now and in the longer term from what you only wish you had now. This chapter shows you how to do so. What I really need is just what are the necessities of life. Now, how do these necessities change over time? Certainly, what you thought you needed at age 5, a bike, a grilled cheese sandwich, a cookie, will not be on your list of perceived needs when you're 15, a designer shirt, a car, a new CD, or 25, a trip to Hawaii, money to pay the rent or mortgage, a romantic dinner out. I'll start with the basics. You need housing, food, clothing, and some form of transportation to get to and from your job and other important places. But the range of choices you have to address those basic needs is staggering. Your cost in terms of both money and opportunity costs will vary greatly depending on your financial goals and the choices you make. Remember, an opportunity cost is something you give up to pursue a particular decision. For example, if you decide to leave work a little early and go out to dinner with your family, your opportunity cost involves giving up the extra income you would have earned by working later. If you decide to go to graduate school, your opportunity cost involves foregoing a high standard of living in the immediate future in hopes of bettering your opportunities later in life. Housing. Your housing choices might include living at home, renting an apartment, sharing an apartment or home with roommates, or buying your own place. For the sake of example, plug in some numbers for each of these options. If you rented a studio or one bedroom apartment, your rent might be $500 per month. If you shared an apartment or home with other roommates, your fair share might be $350 a month. If you bought your own place, your monthly mortgage might be $1,200 a month. If you took in a roommate or boarded to share your housing costs, or you took a smaller apartment or bought a smaller house, you could reduce your housing costs. Your choice of housing depends on what you think you can afford, as well as what you perceive that opportunity cost to be. Take a minute to fill in Table 201 and apply the opportunity cost concept to each housing choice. Plug in figures that seem realistic for each choice listed. Remember, your perception of the benefits derived from each choice is just as important as the opportunity cost. By adding a fourth column to Table 201, you can identify what you think the benefits for each choice are. Table 201. Monthly housing costs. Choice. The other column is money cost, the other one is opportunity cost, and the other column is benefits. The list. Rent an apartment, share housing with roommates, buy a condo or house, take in a boarder, downsize housing, other. What do you identify as the opportunity cost for sharing housing with roommates? Chances are that you mentioned a loss of independence. The opportunity cost associated with the other choices might involve settling for less in terms of the other major expenses in your life. For example, if you choose to rent a fancy apartment, you might have less to spend on a car. The choices you make for the basics depend on what you consider important in order to achieve the goals that you identify in Chapter 1. To, de- to determine what housing situation best suits you and your financial situation, or to make any other decision about your money, follow these steps. Number 1. Calculate how much your choice will cost in terms of dollars. Number 2. Determine what percentage of your total expenses this choice represents. Number 3. Factor in the opportunity costs associated with your choice. Number 4. Weigh the benefits of your choice against the other available options. Food. Do you have any idea how much you spend on food each week or month? Do you have any idea how much you spend on food each week or month? Are you counting fast food stops and going to restaurants? Although food is certainly a necessity, you probably shouldn't count restaurant food as a necessity. Dining in a restaurant is usually considered entertainment. Eating out is something you want or enjoy more than something you need. Tip: use Table 202 before making decisions about the money you spend on food. Identify the opportunity costs and benefits for each option. Table 202: Monthly food costs and benefits. Food choices. The other column is percentage of total food expenses. The other one is opportunity cost, and the other one is benefits. The list: breakfast out, lunch out, dinner out, weekly groceries, other. Sorting out your food choices and weighing the opportunity costs and benefits helps you make better money management decisions regarding food. You can see how unwise it is to spend 40% of your net income on food when you also need to include transportation and clothing in your budget. And you haven't even introduced all those things that you want and are attempted to consider necessities, such as cable, television, and internet access. Transportation. In the category of transportation too, you have a wide range of choices. Take a look at the choices you made in the past to get a better idea of your money management patterns, and then fill in Table 203. Table 203: Monthly transportation costs and benefits. Transportation. The other column is percentage of total transportation expenses. The other one, opportunity costs. The other one, benefits. List: car purchase payments, car lease payments, gasoline, insurance, maintenance, repairs, etc. Public transportation, other. You already know that owning or leasing a vehicle is the most expensive form of transportation, and within the arena of owning or leasing a vehicle, you have many choices: car, truck, sport utility vehicle, or motorcycle. You only want the best, but you soon find that you can't afford everything you want. This is where your critical skill of distinguishing needs from wants is crucial. You may decide that you need a car, for example. The car you choose can range from a top of the line model with payments of $700 a month for 5 years to a Concord for less than $1,000 total. I will make you factor in repair costs for now. Your choice relates to your goals and the income at your disposal. Clothing. Clothing costs are harder to deal with. People generally don't spend a fixed amount on clothes each month. However, having to purchase a major item of clothing, such as a coat, could cause a big bubble in your monthly budget if you don't use your good money management skills. The choice in clothing is enormous. You have a sliding scale from designing labels to resale shops. You may love to shop for clothes or you may hate it. Try to separate your love or hate for clothes shopping from the opportunity costs and benefits that are specific to clothing items. Tip: review your clothing costs for the last year. Begin by recalling major purchases. Then estimate the number of items you go into a clothing store every week or month and how much you spend each time you make a purchase. You probably spend more money on clothes than you previously thought. Remember that although clothing is a necessity, you can and probably do spend a lot more than you need to. Adding it up. Adding it up. Use your worksheet to tally the amounts that you currently spend each month on the basics: housing, food, transportation, and clothing. Begin to think about the adjustments you want to make in any of those categories in order to accommodate greater spending or savings for any of your necessities. For example, if buying a home is one of your high priority goals, you can anticipate paying a greater amount for the necessity of housing. A greater commitment to your housing expense may require spending less in another category. What I really want is, one of the biggest differences between being an adult and being an adolescent is the amount of money you have available for discretionary spending. When you were a teenager, chances are that your parents pay for your housing, food, and transportation. The money you earned, you spent unless your parents insisted or trained you in money management skills and you saved some. So fast food, records, tapes or CDs, movies, clothing, and entertainment tickets often become the necessities of adolescents. A recent survey of teenagers indicated that 73% identify entertainment as their top expense, followed by 64% who identify clothes and 55% who identify music. But for adults, these items fall into the category known as discretionary spending. Understanding what discretionary spending is. Thinking of all the things you want outside the basic necessities as extras may be hard to do, but in the world of personal finance, that's reality. Please take this opportunity for a reality check so that you learn to make the distinction between what you need, necessities, and what you want, the extras in life. As the manager your own As you manage your own money, you may wish that you had more money available for discretionary spending, and you may be surprised at which goods and services are commonly relegated to the category of extras. Look over this checklist of items that you may consider as ordinary parts of living. Indicate whether you think each item is a basic need and or a discretionary want. W. Stock pot, manicure, comforter, television, internet access, vacation in Florida, washing machine, dishwasher, haircut, cologne, pet, beer, books, movie tickets, bread, videos, stove, wallet, acupuncture, I don't know how to say that, sweater. Count up your N's and W's. The list of wants should be far longer than the list of needs. Your needs list might include a haircut, bread, and sweater. Some people could argue that a wallet is a necessity. Others might claim that health insurance is a necessity. Still, only about 25% of these items can only be considered true necessities. Remember, more than likely the extras in your life far exceed your needs. One of the most difficult skills you have to learn as a money manager is how to say no to yourself. Factoring in the influence of advertising. One of the reasons you may have a hard time distinguishing between economic needs and wants is that advertising does such a good job. You're bombarded bombarded with advertising on the radio, on television, on the internet, in the print media, and on billboards and buses. Warning: the purpose of advertising is to promote goods and services so that the prospective customer psychologically transforms a want into a need. Companies spend a lot of money to create a look, feel, and message that works on your emotions. They test their products and marketing strategies and focus groups and use the feedback to develop even stronger messages for the targeted audience. One of your jobs as an adult is to liberate yourself from the persuasions of advertising. One way to do so is simply to ask yourself, do I really need this? Once you identify something as a want rather than a need, you gain control over the choice whether to buy it. Making good choices. Making good choices about your hard-earned money is a skill that you can learn while playing the game of dice. No, you're not going to gamble with your money. DICE is an acronym that stands for Distinguish between needs and wants. Identify the opportunity costs and benefits associated with each choice. Choose items based on your priorities, not on impulse. Evaluate your choices. In the beginning, you may make some unwise choices, but as you gain experience as a money manager, your judgment will improve if you continue to use the DICE approach. D. Distinguish between needs and wants. As the section All I really want is explains, you need to get in the habit of distinguishing what you need from what you want. Our consumerist society encourages you to think that things you wish for are really things you need. Make a declaration of independence and start making those judgments for yourself. Your needs relate to the list of goals that you develop for yourself in Chapter 1. Which of the following do you consider need as opposed to wants? Housing, food, transportation, taxes, insurance, savings, clothing, utilities, self-improvement. Chances are that you consider all these categories essential to your financial success and your economic goals. Financial success is a result of the proper ordering of needs and wants and allocating personal resources accordingly. For example, food is an essential item in every budget. Good money managers curtail the amount of money they spend on this item in order to save for other priorities. What would you add to your list of essentials? Try limiting your list of essentials to 10 items. This will make up your priority list that you'll use later. Remember that within each category in your list of essentials, you have a multitude of choices, but limit the range to 3: basic, middle of the road, and luxury. After each of your essential items, identify what the basic, middle, or luxury choices will help you accomplish your financial goals. I. Identify the opportunity costs and benefits. When you make decisions about spending your money to provide for the essentials on your list, turn back to the worksheets on housing, food and transportation, tables 201, 202, and 203. That'll help you identify your options. For each option, you can name the opportunity cost, what you have to give up to pursue a given option, and the benefit what you gain by selecting that option. All the steps may seem clumsy at first, but soon they'll become habit, and you'll find yourself gaining both speed and confidence in identifying the relative benefits and costs of the choices you have. Weighing the relative costs and benefits enhances your skills as a money manager. C. Choose what's best for you. Remember, only you know your financial goals and economic priorities. Only you can make money management decisions that help you achieve personal goals. Knowing what's best can seem difficult or confusing. That's why having your list of priorities close at hand is worthwhile. In chapter 1, you wrote down long-term goal A, midterm, goal B, and short-term, goal C. Is that list still on your refrigerator door? Now make a list of your 10 most essential economic needs. Next to each category on this list, write B for basic, M for middle of the road, or L for luxury to indicate what you think you'll be able to afford. Post this list on the refrigerator door as well. Refer to this list whenever you must make a decision about your essential economic needs. Obviously, choosing what's best for you involves selecting the options that most in line with your stated goals. E. Evaluate your choices. The way to continue making good money choices is to review your choices in terms of how they get you closer to your financial goals. Learn to reward positive behavior. Learn from the mistakes of poor choices as well. Both kinds of choices can develop your money management skills. Following are a few ways to reward yourself for sound money management. Pat yourself on the back by doing something you enjoy. Take a walk, enjoy a hot bath, spend some time in your garden, or sign up for an inexpensive art, cooking, or dance class. Share the good news. Tell a friend or family member about your choice and why it feels good in terms of your priorities. Tip: make a donation to a charitable organization or cause that you support. Keep receipts of these donations so that you itemize on your tax return. You can take a deduction. Follow the DICE approach for another major purchase and feel good about how much better you are becoming at making wise choices.